We have breaking news that Joe Biden is going to be reducing the amount of people that get stimulus checks, that get that $1,400 stimulus check. This is from some new reporting from a Democratic source. It says, President Joe Biden has agreed to moderate Democrat demands to narrow eligibility for the $1,400 stimulus payments included in the $1.9 trillion pandemic relief bill, according to a Democratic aide. Individuals earning over $80,000 now won't qualify for the payments, compared with a $100,000 cap in the previously drafted legislation, the aide said on condition of anonymity. The ceiling for couples will now be $160,000 against $200,000 before. And I have another list here which gives, more of the nitty-gritty details again. But the point here is that this is breaking Biden's promise. It's bad politics and it breaks a promise. One, like on this channel, we are of the belief that 2000 means 2000 and that you didn't run on $1,400 checks, you ran on 2000. But I suppose, playing devil's advocate, you might make the argument that 14 plus 6 equals 2. But as soon as you change the eligibility for those two checks, in my mind, that severs them, meaning that they're not part of the same promise anymore. Because if you promise somebody $2,000, they already got the first 6 or their portion of the 6 based on their income, and then later on you change the eligibility such that they get less money than before or they don't get any money, you broke a promise to those people. The implication was $2,000 on the same basis as the recent round of checks, the $600 check that came just before Christmas or around Christmas time. That was the promise. And so there are going to be some people here, millions of people potentially, who are not getting checks anymore, who were getting a check, they made $81,000 a year, and now they're not going to get one. And you might think, okay, these people aren't necessarily hurting, they're not necessarily poor, and that's true, but you can't judge that based on the volatility of society right now. Based on 2019 tax data, you can't decide that. You don't know if that's an $81,000 a year earner that's kept their job, is working from home, and they haven't lost a single cent, or they're literally unemployed, unable to work, and they're making like $0 or whatever the minimum amount they're earning on UI and all sorts of social support systems. And so you're basically, telling that person, you don't need any help because 2 years ago you made $1,000 too many and you don't get any sort of stimulus check in this proposal. It's absolutely politically disastrous because even if you do feel that, maybe this is more egalitarian, it really isn't, because the money's not going to be redistributed to make the checks bigger for poor people, for example. This is going to bother people. People might have understood if you ran on this, but people were promised a check and they voted in Georgia to give the Democrats the Senate, and then they should get their checks. Like, that's the deal. It's absolutely political malpractice what's happening here. Absolutely. This is awful. I can't put it any other way. Joe Biden, it's like, are they trying to lose the House and Senate in 2022? That's the only explanation why they would back this. It's like they're trying to lose. Keep the checks as they are. Do not change them. Do not phase them out faster. Keep the exact same parameters as the first check, because that's the only way you can keep your promise. Right now, Joe, you're shattering your promise, the very one that gave your party the Senate majority. Rethink this.